go ahead and get into our first presentation. Scott, Brandt, Miriam Wilson, where are you guys at?
Right there.
Oh, okay, please come up on stage. So they have an amazing podcast called The Journey Beyond Divorce, and they're going to share their story with us today. So give them a round of applause, everybody.
I don't know if I need a mic. Am I loud enough without a mic? Hello, there we go.
Oh,
This is a sad day. So, my name is Scott Brandt. I'm a native of Colorado. But what happens with individuals? Think about it. How many of you gone through a traumatic experience and really don't know what to do? Or you look at it and you don't know what values has come out of that situation. For me, when you think about it, it's like this room. You get in that traumatic experience, you're sitting down in this room, you don't know if you're by yourself, you don't know if anybody else has gone through it before, and then the lights go off. And you're like, what do I do? For myself, a couple things that kind of led to my foundational values to how I lead my life and how I interact with people. I almost killed my sister when I was 10. She was 3, she was dead for 5 minutes. Broke my lower left leg, learned the power of the spoken word, almost had to amputate my leg. Went through a miscarriage with my ex-spouse, and then the icing on the cake was the divorce piece. And so that's one of those things that when I look at it and I go back, values came out of it. So for me, my foundational values are love, growth, connections, and relationships. And so this is one thing for individuals here, is just to look at it and think about it and see what your values are, not the values that somebody else told you, but what are your values that really drive you. And so that's led me to partner up with a great friend of mine, Miriam over here. And it's just unique how paths come together and things happen. So I'll let Miriam come on and talk.
That was 3 minutes, but all right. Hi, I'm Miriam Wilson. I am Thing 2 on the podcast with Scott. Why I'm doing what we're doing is because I just recently went through a divorce, finalized on September 2nd. Never thought I'd be celebrating a divorce, but trust me, it's a good thing. But in the beginning, guys, I wasn't a hot mess, I was a spicy disaster. And I was reaching out to so many people to find a meetup group or support group or someone who had gone through a divorce because I was lost. And I kept getting the same answer. Go to therapy, get a counselor. But that's not what I asked nor was looking for. I was looking for that person that could be there for me during this time frame, that can guide me and give me advice or keep me out of jail from killing my ex-husband. I mean, who wants to end up on the first 48? Not a good way to become famous. And then I met Scott. It's a funny story how we met. We can talk about that later. And we both had the same wants and goals to try and help other people who are or had gone through a divorce, to give them that safe space so they don't feel alone on that island. Because you're not alone. So many people have gone through a divorce. So we decided to do a meetup group. And then everybody else can finish that sentence. COVID happened. So we couldn't meet in person, hence the podcast. So we wanted to do that to help other people so they don't feel alone, or they have different ways to come out of that negative mindset of you can get to the other side. You just have to keep going. It takes a lot of work, but without that support or that tribe, for me anyways, I'll be real, without that tribe, that support, I would not be standing in front of you today. Well, and my son, he has given me that motivation. But that's kind of why we're doing what we're doing. Bye.